Hi, I'm Mariska Hargitay. Playing Detective Olivia Benson on Law & Order Special Victims Unit opened my eyes to the epidemic of sexual assault in this country. Every episode, all based on actual events, confronted me with the grim reality of sexual violence. To prepare for the role, I trained as a rape crisis counselor and saw the epidemic's horrendous impact firsthand. But the severity of the trauma and the complexity of the healing process truly hit home when I started receiving emails and letters from survivors sharing their stories. That these individuals would reveal something so intensely personal, often for the very first time, to someone they knew only as a fictional character on television, demonstrated to me how desperate they were to be heard, how desperate they were to be believed, understood, comforted, and healed. That led me to create my nonprofit organization, the Joyful Heart Foundation. Our mission is to heal, educate, and empower survivors of sexual assault, domestic violence, and child abuse, and to shed light on the darkness that surrounds these issues. We know that everyone heals differently, but that healing process, whatever it may entail for a particular victim, begins with you, the medical first responders. In responding to a sexual assault, you are asked to fulfill both clinical and legal responsibilities. Your primary obligation is to your patient. But in a sexual assault case, that patient, as callous as this may seem, is also the crime scene. A living, breathing, feeling, traumatized body of evidence in desperate need of both your professional skills and your deepest human compassion. The compassion we know you already have in abundance. In the legal aspect of your work, the crucial tool is the New York State Sexual Offense Evidence Collection Kit. The evidence that you secure with this kit could bring a rapist or a child molester to justice and prevent additional sexual attacks. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to view this video, and thank you for all that you do to provide support and comfort to the brave survivors of sexual assault.
Hi, my name is Ann Galloway, and I'm a sexual assault nurse examiner practicing in New York State. It is my role, and yours, to ensure that a patient reporting a sexual assault obtains the professional and compassionate care he or she is entitled to. It's our additional responsibility to meet the evidentiary needs of law enforcement. As you can imagine, that takes a delicate balance. New York State requires every emergency department to have the capacity to care for patients reporting sexual assault, which includes the collection of forensic evidence. The New York State Sexual Offense Evidence Collection Kit, which is provided to every hospital in the state by the New York State Division of Criminal Justice Services, helps to standardize that process. Through the efforts of the Violence Against Women Unit at DCJS, the kit has been recently updated to reflect advances in DNA technology and to streamline a process that is inherently invasive and, unfortunately, often degrading for the patient, yet vitally important for the successful investigation and prosecution of sexual assault cases. Although the kit is utilized for evidence collection purposes within the first 96 hours of an incident, some medical professionals use it beyond that period because DNA and other forensic evidence may still be present. This may depend in large part on the patient's post-assault hygiene activities. You can use your discretion as a medical professional to decide whether it's worthwhile to use the kit if your patient arrives more than 4 days after the incident. The Sexual Offense Evidence Collection Kit was designed so that any medical professional in the emergency department, not just specially trained sexual assault examiners, can properly collect and secure potential evidence. It contains most of the items you'll need, including swabs, slides, and envelopes, and spells out a 15-step head-to-toe procedure for completing this process. We'll be going through each of these steps in the video. We'll also discuss some additional items you should have available to properly collect all of the evidence. Keep in mind that the patient is entitled to a full exam regardless of whether she chooses to report the incident to law enforcement at the time of the exam. Many patients won't make a decision to press charges until several days after the exam. That's why it's very important to obtain the evidence when you have the opportunity, assuming, of course, the patient consents. New York State public health law requires hospitals to hold evidence for a minimum of 30 days to give the patient the opportunity to decide to report to law enforcement. You're now ready to begin your exam. The kit must be sealed before you start, or you shouldn't use it. All right, put on a pair of gloves and open the sealed kit. You'll notice that inside the kit, the envelopes are sealed in plastic, and there are several forms.